This is Project Adventure. It's a 1997 Ford Econoline E150. It's got well over 200,000 miles on its odometer. It has a lift kit and some other weird mods that you don't normally see on vans. It's nowhere near complete, and to fully understand the story you gotta go back a few years, to June 2011. For some time, my dad and I had entertained the thought of buying an RV. Since we added 2 dogs to our family, our little Ford Explorer Sport Track just wasn't enough for the 6 of us. We looked at a couple Class C's and a couple Class B's. They just weren't right. So one day, I was perusing Craigslist, as car guys do, and saw this van listed for $2,000. The only catch was it had a bad wheel bearing and over 180,000 miles. That was that. By the end of the next day, we owned this van. And almost immediately we started work on the van, fixing things like the rear door which had been damaged in a previous accident, placing the wheel bearing of course, swapping out a radiator, and we began to do the interior modifications. We pulled out the rear seats and started to go from there. We also added some fog lights, and we did some other basic maintenance. It was at this moment that Project Adventure was born, and no family road trip has been the same ever since. In the past 5 years, the van has been through many iterations of the homemade pop-top roofs and DIY front bumper fog light setups. And while all of these modifications were happening, the van itself has helped create countless memories of family road trips to Yosemite, to Yellowstone, to New York, and everywhere in between. Well, that's just a brief taste of our van's history with us, but the never-ending modifications began anew this year, and this year there's 2 more to accommodate for. My new nephew and another, not as new as my nephew, but still pretty new dog. This year is probably one of the more extensive revamps of the van. It just got a 6-inch lift kit, along with a set of new wheels and tires, a set of fuel hostage 17-inch rims, wrapped around in 32-inch Falcon Wild Peak tires. We've also continued to do other modifications. Well, that's the end of this video, but definitely not the end of the story of this van. If you like the video, hit like down below. If you want to see more, hit subscribe. If you want to talk about this video and provide any kind of professional constructive criticism that you so often find in YouTube comments, comment down below. And for those of you who stayed through the whole video, I got a little surprise. It's a GoPro falling off the car that was recording it in front. Spoiler alert, it was my mom's Chevy Volt.